ZYX 447 crouched behind the twisted metal wreckage of what had once been a human transport vehicle, his 4 eyes scanning the battlefield with growing disbelief. The plasma burns across his exoskeleton still smoldered from the latest exchange of fire, but that wasn't what troubled him most. It was the human who had just walked away from a direct hit that should have vaporized any living creature. "Command, this is Forward Scout ZYX 447. He whispered into his comm unit, his mandibles clicking nervously. "I need to report an anomaly." The scratchy voice of his superior, Commander Vorth, crackled through the static. "Make it quick, Scout. We're pushing the final assault in 10 minutes. ZYX's secondary arms adjusted his weapon while his primary ones gestured frantically, despite no one being able to see him. "Sir, these humans, they're not dying properly." Pause. "Explain." "I've witnessed 17 direct plasma hits on human soldiers in the last hour. Each time the human goes down, appears deceased, then somehow returns to combat within minutes. Some are missing limbs, others have chest cavities that should be fatal, yet they continue fighting. Scout, are you suffering from combat fatigue? Human resilience is documented, but they're biological entities like any other." ZYX ducked as another projectile whistled overhead. "Sir, with respect, I watched a human female take a full charge from a pulse rifle to the head. She was down for exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Then she stood up, picked up her weapon, and resumed firing. The wound had already begun to seal itself." Through his scope, ZYX observed another impossible scene. A human male, designation unknown, had been caught in the blast radius of their antimatter grenade. The explosion had thrown him 50 meters and embedded shrapnel throughout his torso. Standard protocol suggested the target was neutralized. But as ZYX watched, the human's eyes fluttered open. The man reached down, pulled a piece of metal from his chest with a grunt, and tossed it aside. Within moments, he was crawling toward cover, leaving a trail of blood that seemed to flow slower than physics should allow. "Command, I'm uploading tactical footage now," ZYX transmitted, his voice betraying a tremor he'd never experienced in 3 tours of duty across 7 different planets. "These humans have some form of regenerative capability our intelligence never accounted for." The silence stretched longer this time. When Commander Vortha's voice returned, it carried an edge of uncertainty. "Scout, we've reviewed your footage. What you're describing contradicts every biological scan we've conducted on human specimens." "Sir, I'm telling you what I'm seeing. They get back up. Every single time." ZYX paused as movement caught his attention. 3 humans who had been declared casualties an hour ago were now flanking his position, moving with purpose despite injuries that should have left them incapacitated. A new voice cut through the comm channel, the distinctive rasp of General Korth himself. "All units, this is Command Prime. We're receiving similar reports from multiple sectors. Human forces are displaying unprecedented resistance to termination." ZYX felt his stomach cavity clench as realization dawned. The invasion fleet had come expecting to face a species they'd studied for months, cataloged their weaknesses, planned their swift defeat. Instead, they'd encountered something that defied their understanding of biology itself. "Sir," ZYX ventured, "what if our intelligence was wrong? What if humans aren't just resilient? What if they literally cannot be permanently killed?" The human soldiers were getting closer now. One of them looked directly at his hiding spot and smiled, despite the fact that half her face was scarred from plasma burns that should have blinded her permanently. "All units," General Korth's voice carried across all frequencies, tinged with something ZYX had never heard from his commander before. "Fear. Prepare for strategic withdrawal. We're not fighting a primitive species. We're fighting something that doesn't stay dead." As ZYX began his retreat, he could hear the humans calling to each other in their strange language, their voices filled with grim determination and something that sounded almost like amusement. Behind him, the battlefield was littered with their fallen forms, but he knew with growing certainty that this wasn't over. The humans would get back up. They always did.